Hello everyone, welcome to Scribbles with Jonathan, episode 25. I'm your host, Jonathan Rector. You guys can check out my stuff at jonathanrector.com. And today, I figured what we would do is we would just jump into doing something I was talking on my live Scribbles show, which you can check out if you go to my website, or it's on USTREAM. But anyway, basically what I thought we would do today is draw hips. And I know it's not a very luxurious thing, but without wasting more time, let's just go into how I go about doing it. So I think it's probably a little appropriate. Just to start off, I'll quickly just do a torso here for you, just real quick. If anybody's watched how to draw torsos that I've done, or chesticles, or chests in general, I mean, really quickly, I'm just going to toss it in, and there we have it. I mean, it's pretty easy, and of course this is somebody just standing straight on, so hopefully we'll get into some more complicated stuff as we go along. But one thing I just wanted to get across is, usually with men, anyway, we'll start with the guys, when you're doing the chest, when you go straight down along the sides of the ribs, you could line up your pelvis right along there. Some people like to do a box shape, but what I like to do is I try to think of it like underwear, and just kind of do it like a little triangle. And you can get the sides of your body right on top like that. And I'm going to show you a little bit more, exactly just the hips here in a second. But I just wanted to show you basically, a quick underlying of how I normally do it. So the hips, the best way to remember it is, of course, it's a 3D object, right? But if you start with just doing like a triangle, try to think of it in perspective. So obviously it's pointing upwards. It wraps around just like underwear. Basically just like that. Let me just erase that little part out there. And I mean, and you're done. If you guys are familiar with the Andrew Loomis way, you can get like this little, basically kind of like a little stick in between with a little ball on the end, and that's where you could put your femur, I believe it's called, or your thighs. You can toss your knees on there, and then you just go over top here, and just bang, knock in the muscles that need to go there. So hopefully that's coming across. I'll do a little, different variations here. So we'll say we're looking down on the hips. And I mean, they do open up inside, just like underwear. And if you're unfamiliar with how underwear look, you can always take a look at the ones you're wearing. If you're wearing boxers, that's cool. But it's just basically thinking of ways to break down the shape so that you can remember how to use it in a more complicated way. I guess we'll just keep going here with different variations. And I mean, the reason we're rounding out the back here is because, your butt's still there, right? And your butt, the muscles still go around the actual hips. And we'll get into the females. Hopefully we'll have a little bit of a quick time with doing the females. This is just basically a quick overview of just how I do this. And I mean, like I say in a lot of the videos, I like to go back eventually and do some practical versions. And when I say practical, I basically mean using it in like a real world situation. Like if you're just doing studies and stuff, this helps. But sometimes I find it's not enough information. Okay, so let's say we'll try to break down that underwear shape even further. And we'll do a 3/4 shot. So some people will draw the pelvis or the hips in like a box, like a rectangle, which works really well because if we just quickly gauge where the middle is, just by doing quick perspective tricks, you will know exactly. Ooh. I usually have these squirrels that, just one second here, I'm going to pause and I'll come right back to you guys. Okay, sorry about that. Normally we have these squirrels that, I throw bread out to every day, and for some reason, the thing just kamikazed right into the window next to where I'm drawing, and it scared the living crap out of me. Okay, so, if we're doing the box, basically if you can just picture where the back is, you can wrap the underwear around it. And I mean, right here, in this area right here, it may look a little weird, but sometimes perspective does that to us, makes things look a little awkward. And your underwear is basically going to wrap around like that. It's going to go up the back. And it does look a little bit more complicated when you're throwing the box in there, but I mean, just keep playing around with it, and you guys will understand how it goes. And that's basically, basically it. So I just want to quickly draw, like a guy standing there, and how I would normally go about doing it. Some of you like to use a gesture line. Sometimes I use it, but not really. But we'll say it's just somebody throwing a punch. So quickly get in where his torso is going to be, and what I like to do too is just basically get the shape, like the flow of where his hips are going to be. And here we're just going to quickly throw in the triangle for the underwear that we were talking about. We'll go in there and we'll actually throw in some extra detail. And which way will we have his fist? We'll say he's like lunging forward here, or we could just quickly do a little hand where his arm would be to throw that punch. And now that we're going to have the underwear, because it's still got to wrap around the back, and then we can put in our little line. And we can just toss the muscles over top. His leg would go back there, maybe get his other leg back here. Something like that. And don't worry about this arm, it's terribly done. I'm just trying to show you guys this right here. The hips. Just trying to think of it like the underwear. I mean, the only reason I'm trying to show you guys this is that I find that it helps for me. And, obviously, hopefully it helps for you guys. Again, if I were to just, if you want, sometimes just that line doesn't help. You can bring it down a little bit, like a little bit of a belt. I just want to show you guys real quick, where some of the muscles would go. So this would be like where the torso would go. We got our thighs coming out, and there's this little oblique muscle that'll come up over the sides, and then our abs. And this is really cool because this line basically acts as where the belly button's going to be, and then we can just toss in the abs. So I'm just going to lower the opacity on that one a little bit, just so I can show you guys here. And I mean, obviously, this is kind of like a style choice, how you do your muscles and stuff. Everybody's got their little way of doing it. And we'll put a big censored right there. Just toss it in. I think I got to be honest, because I helped with that squirrel. I'm not sure what time I'm looking at here, so I'll quickly do it from the back here to show you guys. So again, we'll say it's just a straight-on shot. The back of the underwear is pretty much the same. Drop in your hips. But this is where it gets really cool, because basically the underwear covers up the butt. And if you think about it like a butterfly, that's basically how the butt muscles work. Whoops. Let me just try to really accentuate that butterfly. I mean, this is for like the really muscular people, but most people, at least the curve under here, is the same. And your muscles are going to come over the sides. Try to black it in to show you guys there. So that's basically it. So if you're even to do it from a side, you could actually use that curve to determine, the curve that you're going to do for the butt, basically. Just throw the thighs down like that. That's basically it, to be totally honest with you. And I mean, the main difference I think most of us learn when doing this stuff between guys and girls, and hopefully this isn't going too far over, so I'm just going to make this real quick. Guys have the bigger torso, kind of like a V shape. And you get your legs, and then the chicks are basically like an hourglass, or kind of an upside down triangle. I mean, you could go like that. The hips are radically bigger there, but you don't have to give them huge thunder thighs like I did. But you can just do what you want. And if you wanted to do the hourglass, that's cool as well. You basically just thinking of it like that. And the only difference in doing the pelvis between the guys and the girls is when you bring these little lines out here, just once you're going down to the knee, when you're going over top to put the muscle on, just flare it out a bit, just to give the hips a little bit more breathing room, and just make it look a little bit more feminine. And I mean, this is pretty crude, this drawing here, but anyway, I hope this helped some of you guys out. So I really appreciate you guys stopping by. You guys can check out my site, like I said, at jonathanrector.com. You can get a hold of me on Twitter. My username's ArtByJar. And you guys can also check out my USTREAM. I believe it's ustream.tv/JonathanRector. And I appreciate it, and I hope you guys have a great day, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.